Hello everyone. Today we are gathered here to do another debate, and the topic that we chose today is comedy movies are better than thriller movies, and I am supporting this argument, whereas Keman will be speaking against this. So we have already ideated, and we are ready to begin. Uh, Laughter is the best medicine, as the saying goes, and the best way to laugh is watch comedy movies. There are mainly two types of comedy movies. Like one which are made for children, which are usually age friendly, and anybody can see it with your children. A family can see it with their children and have a good time of laughter. And like some people may find these movies very childish. For them, also there are comedy movies. There are usually some dark comedy movies, which if you find the children's movies very childish, then you can always opt for this option. The major advantage of watching comedy movies rather than a thriller movie is because you don't really have to start it from the beginning. Even if you have missed the certain part of the movie, you can still enjoy it. Whereas in case of a thriller movie, you need to watch it from the start. Otherwise, you will not really understand the characters or uh, understand what is going on in the movie. Uh, the second point will be about like imagine if you came back from a work of a very tiring day and you just want to relax, and that's now if you want to see a movie, you will ideally prefer something which is comedy instead of thriller. Because usually in thriller movies you need to pay a little bit of attention to understand what is going on. But whereas in case of a comedy movie, you can always just chill and like, lay down, sit back, and enjoy the movie without thinking too much. And the last point will be even in the thriller movies, there are usually like some kind of comedy or some light humor always there to make the movie more engaging. So I don't really think without a little humor or little fun or comedy, any movie is really possible. Yeah.
Over to me. Imagine you're spending money, you're going to theater, like you're booking, you're expecting a very good cinema, and you wait to till the end. But whatever is there on the screen is what you have expected, and like there's nothing, no twist, nothing, and you don't find it worth. And yes, I'm speaking about thriller movies. I totally support the argument of thriller movies are better than comedy movies, and I have five strong reasons for that. First is about the adrenaline rush which thriller movies give. Like I have watched movie called as Train to Busan, and till the end, like I was just rooting like what will happen next, what will happen next, and this is something that thriller movies are very good. Has a better potential than comedy movies. Secondly, about the suspense and the climax, like it's worth the money, it's worth the wait. You have to wait, you have to invest something, and then suddenly some twist comes, suddenly some mind-bending things come, like movies like Maharaj, or we can also say Shutter Island. When there's something unpredictable and you something out of the box happens, it excites a lot of your emotions, and you feel a lot in the scene. Thirdly, I would say about imagination. Thriller movies push your imagination, push your boundary, make you go out of the box. And movies like Inception and Interstellar is one are some of the examples of that. And it makes you be something out of the normal, like even Stranger Things in that case. Like it is not that we can see daily lives, but it is we are imagining a different scenario, and that is not really possible in comedy movies. uh, Fourth, I would say that thriller movies makes me puts me into shoes of somebody, but that is not possible in comedy movies. Like for example, a movie like Drishyam, where a family is fighting for some where family stands for each other. It makes me put in that shoes and makes me think like what I will be doing if I was in their shoes, which is not really possible in comedy movies. And also a movie called as Pihu, which I watched. Like a young girl is trapped in the house, and like she's 5 year old, and her parents pass away in the home itself, and how she survives in that situation. These movies makes me really root for some characters and makes me think from other perspective, but that is really not possible in the comedy movies. And lastly, I would state that thriller movies make you aware. Like there are some movies based on real incidents, like Article 337, then Burari deaths, then No One Killed Jessica. It makes you aware of certain wrongdoings which happen in the society right nowadays, and which makes you prepared and makes you aware that you have to not trust even some jamtara calls and all. Like it makes you aware of the surrounding, and like makes you a sharp and good person, well aware person. And these are some five strong points why I feel thriller movies are far better than comedy movies. Yeah. Repeat of it.
Yes.
Just I'm writing
Okay,
feedback.
so I'll
Yeah,
start.
yeah. Go ahead.
Uh, you mentioned about the adrenaline rush point. Like whenever you watch a thriller movie, you get adrenaline rush, and you mentioned that it is usually fun when you experience this in a theater. But what if in case when you are watching the movie on OTT? Because most of the time we watch the movies either on TV or any OTT platforms, and like rarely we go to the movie theaters. So, like, are you saying that we won't be getting this same adrenaline rush if we watch it at the home?
Good question. To answer that, I would say that adrenaline rush is due to the stories, which is not a potential in comedy movies. I'm not saying about the sound system or the like the noise of the theater, but I'm saying about the story. And
Okay.
even the movies that I have mentioned, like I have also not watched them in the theater. I have watched on the laptop or phone.
Okay, you may also mention about the movie called Inception, and not just limiting to that example. Usually, thriller movies are a little bit confusing. So, for younger audience, or like maybe there is a second part of the movie, then you need some backstory of the previous movie, which is not really the case in the comedy movies. And like if you are not able to follow it correctly, and if you like constantly keep asking your maybe someone with you are watching the movies, it is really confusing and not really a good experience. So I don't really think for thriller movies are good in that case.
Okay, to answer that, if we have to say about younger audience, like there are also many scenes in the comedy movies, and nowadays comedy movies are so bizarre that they bring adult comedy in everything. Like for recent example, Houseful 5A and Houseful 5B, like it is not even adult certified, but there are so many adult jokes. And I would also say that it is not comedy movies also have something in that are not also suitable for young children. And I would say about my experience of watching Three Idiots, there were so many words in the Three Idiots itself that I was confused and I was asking my parents or asking somebody else. So that is also very, very evident in the comedy films.
Yeah.
Okay, we have heard this is one saying that comedy is subjective. What do you think about this? Whereas thriller is not subjective, it can make you sit on the edge. It can give you adrenaline rush, but comedy is very subjective. Like even if I'm adult and I might not like some comedy which is going on.
Uh, yes, I agree that the point comedy is subjective is true because every person is different and they have different taste. But again, it's kind of also a similar situation uh, in case of thriller movies because not everyone will like the suspense every time. And it would be really confusing for some people. Even like a popular example could be Oppenheimer, where not so even though it's a good movie, but many people didn't really like it because it was really confusing for them to understand. And even movies like Inception, it is really difficult for the audience to understand. So I don't really think this is limited to comedy movies, uh, whereas it is usually more in case of thriller movies, I believe.
I have a question, Ayush. There is one thing that I've said that thriller movies pushes your boundaries, pushes your imagination, but that is not possible at all in the comedy movies. How do you have to address it? Don't you feel in that case thriller movies are better?
Hmm. No, I don't really think so because like even in the comedy movies, there is usually a good story, a good plot line. Uh, like for example, could be like Golmaal had a very good storyline, and uh, Like Hera Fairy was also a really good movie because there was like a very good storyline. You couldn't really predict what was going to happen next. Even though it was a comedy movie, it still had a good storyline, and you were like you all were also following the story and not just the comedy.
Any question, Ayush?
Yeah. Mm. No, I am good.
Okay, my last question to you, Ayush, will be about the thriller movies make you aware about the surroundings, like whatever wrongdoings are happening in the world. Like any case, for example, maybe if you consider Burari deaths or No One Killed Jessica, like it makes you aware that there are some wrongdoings in the society going on, but you can't showcase them in the comedy movie. So, don't you feel thriller movies are better in that way?
I don't really think so because no, only thriller. If you're saying that only thriller movies can do so, then I don't really agree with you. Even like biographies, and even like as you mentioned, the example of Three Idiots, it was based on a real story. And even in case of thriller, as you are saying, it could be very much like edited from the original version and not really keeping the real case, like showing it as the situation happened. Even like some people might not even prefer showing their personal life or there's some personal tragedies in the thriller movies, and they fabricate it so much sometimes that it changes the main plot line only to get more views, like to engage the audience more. And I don't really think that is actually a good case. Whereas it is also possible in the biopics or even other movies, but still, I don't really think that is limited to like thriller movies. It's kind of a drawback from both sides. That's not really a good point.
Yeah. Shall we move here?
Yes.
Feedback part. Okay, I'll start feedback first. Uh, so far,
Yes.
this was the worst intro of the entire debate. Like I had no idea what I was saying, uh, and like
Yeah, that was actually my same feedback for you.
yes, it was the worst intro, worst intro.
What you are saying it.
Yeah, for me. uh, then next point I have about me is I had good examples. Like every point I was backing up with example. That is one thing which I didn't find from you. Like you should
Mhm.
have given more examples. And one bad thing about me was I was uh, repeating the same statement again. Like if I was saying about pushing the imagination, I was saying that, and I was again saying that it pushes your imagination, again saying it pushes your imagination, which was not that good. And I'll try to handle this issue in my next from next week. Yeah, bad intro. I don't know. It was really bad. Like I did not think much how to go ahead. Yes. Okay.
I won't say. Yeah, yeah.
From your side, uh, laughter is the best medicine. That quote
No,
I love.
I'll just
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
add from your side so that we are in good flow.
Hmm.
I won't say it is a bad intro as such, but like usually compared to your previous debates, it was slightly not as per that level. So that's why maybe it felt a little bit like not so good for you. But it wasn't that bad. It was normal, okay, kind of. And yeah, that was the second point you mentioned was good because you mentioned the imagination or the thrill you get like, kind of repetitively, and not even like just one point. You like it was everywhere, kind of like in every point, and even if it was in single one point and you like covered it at the one stretch, then it might have been better. But
Hmm.
you mentioned it like repetitively.
Yes. Okay. For your side, I feel I have written something called as argument, but I don't recollect what it is. One thing I liked about quote that you started with, that was a good quote. And one thing I do not like about you is we have discussed yesterday that we had potential for so many examples for this that you did not come with example while stating your points. Maybe later in the rebuttal phase you came with points, but uh, I did not find
Hmm.
any examples. And like you could have even listed down some when I was saying it gives real life incidents. You said Three Idiots, but I think you could have listed more. Like it would have made you more
Yeah,
stronger. Yes,
very good.
credible. Yes. Do you have any feedback for yourself?
Yeah, same point actually. Like I could, there was like a good possibility to add examples in the my initial phase. I don't know why I didn't mention it. Maybe I was not able to think at that time, or I don't know why I didn't mention. And like the intro was good. I'm like trying to add some quotes or stats nowadays,
Yes.
and the rebuttal phase was pretty good, I guess. Yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty much it.
Okay, I remembered what that argument meant. It was in the start that I say that, and I will be favoring that ideology, and I is against the ideology. But you use the term argument, which I think is the correct term to be used there. Like when we are introducing, that time you said
Yeah.
argument.
Hmm.
Okay, yes, that's it for the feedback part. Uh, can you think from other perspective?
Okay, I can try.
Yes, try. Are we good to start? Yes. Can you start?
Yeah, I don't have any points as such.
Uh,
Like only point I
just a second.
could.
My mom is calling me. I'll just message her. Yes. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So only one point. Usually in thriller movies, it's more like an individual thing and not like a group thing. You will enjoy comedy movies more as a group, like laughing
Hmm.
together and maybe like some inside joke or personal joke, which is not usually the case in the thriller movies. Yeah, that is.
That is really a very good point. Like I just extending your thing. When we had gone for Dream Girl 2 from hostel, and to see the jokes like and commenting on each other that Arey, you are like this, you are like that, and seeing the whole theater laugh, it was really fun. Like it, yeah, that is a very valid point. From your side, I would say about. I wish you had asked me more rebuttal phase on this because of the attention span. Like old people don't have really a higher attention, and they might not like to sit throughout the movie to figure out the story. Whereas they can just laugh on one joke, and it is fun for them. Something on attention span. Secondly, when I said that it makes you aware about the surroundings. You could have said that even comedy movie addresses many of the social norms. Like Shubh Mangal Sadhan, it focuses on erectile dysfunction. Bala, like hair loss. Dream Girl, something else. Like you should have given more better examples. That is what I would say. And last point would be like there has been many deaths or tracked on in the theater due to horror movies like Conjuring and all. Like people died due to heart attack. But on the contrary, comedy movie gives you relief. It makes you healthy. Like you laugh and it's more healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Group discussion. Yes.
Yes.
What movies do you like, Ayush? Com-
Comedy.
I like horror, thriller.
I know.
Uh, yeah, let's. Can you extend your statement? Like, why do you like comedy?
Comedy movies are like very relaxing, if, like having a bad time and don't have to really focus on a lot on something. I will prefer watching on comedy movies, and also like comedy movies have a good rewatchable.
Incident.
What is it called? Yeah, so you can watch the comedy movies again and again, but if you already know the story of the thriller movie, you won't really enjoy it. So that's why I prefer comedy movies.
Why didn't you say this point, Ayush? This was a nice point, Harry. If I have to say thriller movies, I think I any movie I watch for one time only. Like I don't really watch it twice, so it makes me think till the end. Like what will happen? What will happen? This is one thing which I like about thriller movies, and I feel I'm a little saturated with the content. Like every time I'll just go to on YouTube top 10 best thriller movies, top 10 suspense movies, and then I'll just watch one of
Mhm.
them. Yeah, I really root for thriller movies. Like whenever some new thriller movies come, I just watch. And comedy is subjective. I don't really laugh a lot in the comedy movies. Like there are very few. And recently there has been no good comedy movies. Like I had written this point just now that I could have asked you, uh, the recent decline of comedy movie. Can you list one or two movie, a comedy movie of this year which you find really good? I should have asked you something in that manner because there's no good comedy movie. I don't even remember any comedy movies.
I was full fire.
Is it good?
I have no idea.
Yes, yes. So maybe that is also one of
Yeah,
the
that is actually a good point. Yeah.
that is also when one of the major reason why I don't watch comedy movies because there's no good comedy movies. But before there used to be so much good comedy movies like Dhamal, De Dana,
Hmm.
De Danadan, then Hera Fairy, Fairy, Fir Hera Fairy. All of them they were like cult classic, and now nah. Yeah, that's it.
Usually, I prefer like comedy TV shows or not TV shows, like the web series more,
Uh,
or like the sitcoms are usually more funnier than the movies, and they have more rewatchable factor, I would say.
okay.
Like I really enjoyed watching Modern Family or Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They are like really funny, and you can like watch any episode at any time, and you will still enjoy it even without knowing any context.
Okay. Yeah, let us go ahead. Uh, ChatGPT Check.
Yeah,
Just a second. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Shall I go ahead or
Um, no,
it, it
I'll start.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, from the comedy movies point of view, they are usually target broader audience. Anybody can watch them, as I mentioned. Uh, the second was about shared experience, which I mentioned just now.
Mm,
Like you enjoy it like a good communal bond. Next would be comedy movies are a great, like a much needed escape from like daily stress, like a stress relief. And whenever you watch a comedy movie, by the end of it, you usually feel like very positive or very optimistic, which is not really a case in the thriller movie. Uh, and next one will be comedy movies are usually more relatable to like your daily experiences. You can like think of some incidences which happened to you, which is not usually the case in the thriller movies. Like you'll not really experience murder or something, or like solving a murder case or something. Comedy examples are usually from general life, something which you can relate to. Uh, yeah, from the thriller side, the same points like heart pounding excitement. I've found a new word actually.
mm,
Uh, Thriller movies gives you a cathartic experience. Cathartic means uh, like a great sense of relief of great emotions or something. Like you feel basically like an adrenaline rush. You feel like after knowing who the murderer was or something like that. And yeah, thriller movies are usually like puzzles. If you are like analytical person in nature, then you might enjoy thriller movies more. Like you try to solve it when you are in the watching the movie or guessing who is the culprit. How it is pronounced?
culprit, correct.
Culprit. Okay. Yes. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I have only one repetitive point, which is you mentioned about think. One word I should have used, that is critical thinking from my side. Like it induces critical thinking, then puzzle solving and all. Firstly, secondly, I did not. You could have focused on like comedy movies are more family friendly, and they don't have too much violence, which can be like affecting some people. So these 2 points you could have said. uh, One thing I said about every time like pushing the imagination, but the correct word which I wanted to use is thriller movies are more have more cinematic brilliance. Like they'll show some camera position, some camera this, which can be very creative. But that is no, there is no scope like so much budget also in comedy films. Yeah, that is one point. uh, One thing against thriller films you could have said is they have overused plot twist. Like sometimes it is very evident from the start, and then you don't have that much fun. Like like they may say that if there's husband and wife, there was a phase where all the wives were the culprit and not the husband. Like there is overused themes basically. One thing you could have said from comedy movies is even comedy movies make us think. Like they have some satire which makes you connect to something, and like it's like, oh, it was about that. So yeah, even comedy movies are better in that perspective. And secondly, I would have said something against you. Like I'm sorry, it is just arranged like not properly, but I could have said like comedy movies like have some jokes which are very racist, or something like repetitive tropes, like saying South Indians will speak something in that manner, like Goa will be connected to drugs and all. Which was a very good point, I should have said that. uh, and one thing I could have said was comedy movies have limited emotions. They might be driving on just laughter and like, okay, but in thriller movies it is usually like you get angry, you get sad, you get, what do you say, you get adrenaline rush, and at the end you get satisfied, oh, this was the culprit, and like it's all okay now. Yeah, that's it. I remember watching one movie called as Love. It is Malayalam movie and it's a thriller movie. Like I had so much expressions in that movie, so much emotions in that movie. Like there was a phase where I was so much happy and so much satisfied, and the next phase was so much different from the previous phase. So I for that reason I like thriller movies. Yeah, that's it. I think some of the points which
Yeah.
from the ChatGPT were really very good. Like we forgot something like satire or some racial comments and all.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it. Uh,
Yes.
an-
Okay then.
Anything to add, or we can add?
No, I think we can end.
Yes. Okay. Chalo, bye, Ayush. I'm stopping the meet.